Welcome to Tulisac. As you can see, the fall colors have started showing up and a lot of the leaves have fallen off. Starting to head into winter here, which sure it is there as well. I've started off in old Tulisac, which is kind of funny because Tulisac is not all that big, but there is an old section to it, a downtown section to it, and a newer section to it. Population of Tulisac, depending on who you ask and how far out you go, ranges between 300 and 500 people. Again, using those numbers, that puts the population of those 18 and younger at either 50% or as much as 80% of the town population. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of buildings that are in disrepair or that are shuttered up because there's a huge amount of vandalism and trash that's collected around the area. These are some of the newer houses that have been built in the recent past. 98% of the population receives some type of assistance here, with a majority of those receiving full amounts of assistance. Up here, if we keep going straight over the bump, we'd run into the Tulisac River, which connects to the Kuskokwim River. Most of these buildings are occupied regardless of the shape they seem to be in, because housing is a serious issue, with some houses having as many as 12 people inside of them. And they're generational. So you have a lot of children being raised by grandparents. Now this side of Tulisac, the old side of Tulisac, is where the drinking occurs. Which starts about 9 at night, continues to about 4 or 5 in the morning. Lots of dogs in the area. In fact, all over the village, tons of dogs. And I've doubled back now. We're running along the side of the school. As you can see, the school is elevated. There was a flood here a number of years ago in which the entire town was under 4 foot of water. Well, there was 4 foot of water that came up and flooded the town. And so now most of the buildings are elevated. This open window right here is my classroom. And right across from my classroom, you will see this sign. Okay. Right on the other side of that hill, 25-30 feet from me, is the sewage pond. Yes, I know what you're thinking. That does bring quite the interesting smell into my classroom at times. Now, this services the teacher housing and the school. All the sewage dumps into this particular pond because those are the main areas that actually have indoor plumbing and piped water. Coming around to the side here, we'll get a glimpse of the playground for the school, which isn't used by the school very much at all, and is actually in quite a bit of disrepair. But it's the only area set aside in the entire community for the kids to have somewhere to play that isn't, getting into trouble or, vandalizing or getting themselves into areas that they're not supposed to get into. And even here, they wind up getting themselves up on top of the school and doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. You can see some kids over there and part of a torn up playground. Well, it wasn't torn up. It was installed a few years ago, and someone, while drunk, took their four-wheeler and attached some chains and pulled this structure over, pretty much damaging it enough where it couldn't be salvaged. So now here you are with a bunch of kids in the community that already have limited resources for play, now missing another. In fact, right behind this playground area over here in basketball court is the river. It literally drops off down a hill back on that side. You can hear the generator for the school, and you can see the storage tanks. These are some of the storage tanks for the diesel fuel that we have to use to run the generator non-stop. And here's a good view of the playground. As you can see in the background, there are some houses on the other side of the river, and that's why I was talking about, if, depending on how you count the residents, because if you go far enough out, there's a ton of residents out in these little areas with nobody around, as well as fishing camps located on the other side of the river. This is the school. It's the biggest fixture in the village. And in front of the school, we have the teacher housing. All these units are housing for the teachers. And this one's mine right here, which is right next to the really big cell tower. So it makes it very easy to find my house no matter where I'm at in the village. And there's more diesel containers over here. Now our school takes kindergarten through 12th grade, and this building with the blue roof right here is the Head Start program, which takes about another 18 to 24 kids in their program. We're coming up behind the post office in what was the temporary store. The store was burned down by a few kids in the spring, and they just opened the new store last Saturday. Alright, so this is the post office in those first two doors, and then that was the temporary store. As you can see, most of the windows around here get boarded up because, well, people break in and vandalize. We've had more than a dozen at the school alone. This is the clinic, and then this is the water treatment facility. And I mean, the village had the option of having water put in and sewage, but they couldn't find enough native workers to meet the required quota to actually do it. Back there, that yellow building is actually a laundry facility, and it is connected to the water and sewage, kind of like the store and the clinic are. Okay, so here's the new store that just opened up, and I've not ever gotten a clear explanation of what this building is, but I don't think it's actually functional. All of this area from the post office all the way down here is considered downtown Tuluksak. And there's a second side to it. I kind of cut up down the middle, and I'll get that side in a few minutes. What? You're back. No. No hi. No. No, you don't. No. Well, like a frog?
Yes,
Well, then why are you stuck there?
because I'm a frog.
You're a frog?
We're cooling
Sir.
off.
You're cooling off because it's been so hot today?
Yes.
All right, just thought I'd check. No. What? No. Yes, Joanne. This is the other side of Main Street. The two main things that are down this way are the Native Center, which is right up here to the right. Big white building, I believe, which is the centralized government for Tuluksak. Yeah, off here. And then right behind this Connex, that wooden building that you see back there is actually the jail, which has been used a surprising number of times since I've been here.